This is one of those videos I wish I had when I was younger because it would have saved me so much more time and I would have made so much more progress when it comes to my physique and just any goal I had in general. And so I hope I can convey this message in a way that it benefits you just as much as it benefited me. In the times we live in, it feels like everyone is looking for shortcuts. Everyone wants whatever they desire. Like this. Up-and-coming creators are looking for hooks to get millions of views fast. All over YouTube, you have titles like how to get XYZ outcome so fast it feels illegal. And all of that speaks to one underlying desire. I want XYZ outcome fast. I want this job fast. I want to make X amount of money fast. I want to get this physique fast. Like everyone is like, I just want this one outcome fast as I possibly can get. And so that is why people end up looking for shortcuts to get the thing that they want to instead of taking the longer route. But the thing is, right, when you want something fast, you tend to try to force that outcome to happen. It's like you're in this tussle with life where you're trying to get the outcome fast. However, the more shortcuts you take, the more you try to get the outcome fast, the further it runs away from you. Because an outcome cannot be forced. It's impossible. Think about this, right? Let's say that you want to lift a certain amount of weight. Let's say that you want to bench 225, or you want to hit a 3-plate weighted pull-up, or you want to hit a sub-3 marathon. Point is, you have this goal, right, that you want to achieve. Now, if you are trying to rush the process, and if you're trying to force this outcome to happen, you're going to try and lift weights that you cannot lift right now. You're going to do workouts, endurance workouts that you cannot do right now, that you cannot handle right now. You're going to do progressions that you just cannot handle right now because you're trying to force the outcome, right? You want it fast. But for example, you might get injured, right? And when you get injured, what happens? You have to take a long amount of time to recover and then get back to whatever sport you were doing. So now it's going to take you even longer to achieve this goal of 225 bench or a 3-plate weighted pull-up or a sub-3 marathon. Now, I was a victim to this for a long time, right? And I made a whole video about that. It's the last video on my channel. But I was in the same boat and I said this to myself and I'm going to say the exact same thing to you. What if you just let go and let it take as long as it takes? Like, what if you actually just let go? Let it take as long as it takes. Let it take 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. Did that break your heart? I mean, it did break my heart. Right? It hurt. It's gonna take me that long to achieve this physique. It's gonna take me that long to achieve whatever goal I had in mind. I was kind of heartbroken. But then I asked myself, I was like, okay, let's say it is gonna take that long. Will I stop trying? Will I stop working? Will I stop pushing myself and every single day doing what I need to do to achieve the goal I have set for myself? I was like, no, I'm not gonna stop. Because the thing is, right, if you were gonna stop, that means the goal did not matter in the first place. The goal was just something that was maybe driven by ego or whatever, but the goal did not matter in the first place. However, if you said you won't stop trying, if you said that you are still going to keep pushing, then that means the goal matters to you. And that means you are willing to spend as much time as you need to working towards that goal in order to achieve it. And so when you accept the fact that it will take a long amount of time, it will take longer than you think it's going to take, something magical happens. You stop focusing on shortcuts, you stop focusing on tactics, you stop focusing on this hack, that hack, right? Because you're no longer thinking like, I need the result fast, right? No. You start focusing on the simple, boring actions that will lead to the results eventually in the future, God willing. So that may look like, for example, committing to a workout program that is actually going to get you to a 225 bench over the course of a year instead of a month, right? So that you can actually follow it through for the rest of your life and the weight is going to come down over the course of the next 6 months, 12 months, right? Instead of crash dieting for a whole 30 days and losing the same amount of weight, but gaining it all back a month after. It's actually upskilling yourself and getting better over time at your specific job so that you can eventually progress in your career over time. It's like the Dagestani wrestlers. The thing that makes them so world class is not any fancy thing that they do, no. It's the fact that they do the simple basics every single day for years and years and years on end.
I was doing same thing all my life. Stability. You have to train every day. You have to do same thing. Sparring, grappling, wrestling, running, like meets, bag, every single day. So many years, you know, every single day, same thing, exactly. Like guys ask me like, oh, how you become like good grappler, good top control, wrestling, conditioning. I was wrestling every day, like 1 hour, non-stop. And then when you finish, you go do some exercise, lifting, running, bikes, work with coach.
And no wonder that they're so good that the world just cannot ignore them. And the thing is, when you accept this, it gives you such insane power because you're no longer focused on this hack, that hack, this thing, that thing. No, you're not focused on any of that. You're focused on the simple things that drive results. But because they're boring, they take a long amount of time to actually get the results. No one wants to do that because no one is playing the long game. So everyone is like a headless chicken. They're trying out this science-based routine, this science-based routine, this workout, this diet, that diet. While you are like a horse with blinders. You're focused on the simple things that lead to the result that you actually want to achieve, God willing. For example, you're focused on getting in enough protein. You're focused on training hard enough. You're focused on progressive overload. You're focused on hitting each muscle twice a week. You're focused on getting in enough sleep. You're focused on these basics like a horse with blinders, whereas everyone else is like a headless chicken running around everywhere. And the thing is, I had to accept this idea with my shoulder. because I have a torn rotator cuff and it's been almost 2 years since I've had that, right? And so for 2 years, I've been in the cycle of rehab, flare up, rehab, flare up, rehab, flare up, right? So I haven't been able to train the way I want to at all. Hence, I basically lost muscle, gained some fat, right? And I was getting so pissed off. I was like, bro, it's been so long, man. I just want to be able to train again. And because of that mindset, I was trying to force the outcome again. I made this last video on my channel about this exact thing. And so I was trying to force the outcome. I was trying to push for weights I wasn't honestly ready for at all. And that kept me in the cycle of rehab, then injury, rehab, then injury, rehab, then injury. One day I realized, I was like, bro, it took Ben Patrick, knees over toes guy, 10 years to get to a point where his knees are basically bulletproof. 10 years. That is freaking, I'm 20 years old right now. That is me being 30 years old and having the result I want. 10 years. It took Brendan, right, from low back ability. It took him 8 years. 8 years to fix his low back. 8 years, bro. From the ages of 16 to 24. That is mad. That is insane. That is actually insane. These guys also did a podcast, right? And one of the girls on that podcast, her name was Grace. She was talking about how it took her 5 years. 5 freaking years of being in a cycle of rehab, then injury, rehab, then injury, rehab, then injury. For her to only begin the right way of rehab. For her to find the right path when it comes to fixing her low back. That is insane. And here I am thinking, bro, it's been 2 years. Oh my God, it's been so long. Yes, are there people who fix their injury within 6 to 12 months? Yes. Am I one of them? No. So let me stop thinking like them as well. And let me stop trying to be like them. So when I realized this, I was like, bro, I can't complain right now. I cannot complain. And I realized it's going to take some time. So let me just play the long game. And that's when everything started to shift. And one thing I also tell myself, I'm like, Ali, if you were the only person on earth, would you care if the outcome that you want took it a few extra years? Like, no, I won't give a crap. And that means the reason I want the outcome so fast is because of other people around me. Inherently, I don't care if it takes a bit longer. Something to think about. Now, I wrote the script for this video about a month ago. And ever since then, I've actually had an experience I want to talk about. So when I realized this and I truly internalized this, right? I just stopped giving a crap about how long it was going to take. I started playing the long game. I started to focus long term. And as a result of that, I started to focus and obsess over the things that I need to do, the inputs I need to do to get the result I want, God willing. I made a whole new routine for myself consisting of nothing but the basics and the things that I need to do to get to the goal I want to get to, right, God willing. And I just started doing that every single day. Every single day. I just started focusing on that, right? Every single day in, day out. And I started to then obsess over the work, and during this time, I had one of the best realizations ever. It was like 6:30 p.m. I was sitting down reading Quran, and that day I had done everything I said I was going to do, right? I kept all the promises that I made to myself. I did my Arabic lessons. I did my rehab for my shoulder. I edited the video that I was supposed to edit. I did all of that. And so I had done everything that I had to do, and I was just sitting down, 6:30 p.m., evening time, reading Quran, right? And while I'm reading, I look out my window, right? And I look at the sky, and I'm just like, all I want are more days like these. All I want are more days like these. That is it. Nothing else. All I want are more days where I do what I need to do. I work on the goals that I have set for myself. I push myself and I completely exhaust myself by the time I go to bed. That is what I want. And when I truly had, I'm getting goosebumps right now, but when I truly had that realization, that's when it really hit me. The results, the outcome, getting that can take 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. If I have to give the game 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, so be it. Because I don't need the thing, I don't need the outcome, the result, to do the inputs needed to achieve that result. Because I've fallen in love with the inputs themselves. And all I want now is to spend more of my days doing those inputs. That's all I want. And that makes you powerful. Because now you're going to be even more dialed in, you're going to be even more locked in per se. Because you have fallen in love with the inputs. And it is living like this in the first place that is going to help you achieve the goal you have set for yourself, God willing. Because you are doing the things that you need to do every single day to achieve that goal, God willing. It's like when you first want to build your dream physique, you get into the gym for that specific purpose. But then eventually, as time goes by, and as you hit more gym workouts, as you lift more, as you train more, you start to fall in love with training itself. You start to fall in love with lifting itself. And getting that physique is something that goes to the back of your mind. And you don't care if it's going to take you 3 years, 5 years, right? Because you are more focused on the workouts themselves. You are more focused on progressing in your workouts. You're more focused on getting better workouts. You're more focused on hitting more weight over time. That is your biggest focus because you have now fallen in love with the gym itself. You have now fallen in love with working out itself. And that is when you become powerful because now you are training just for the sake of training. And you have accepted the fact that it's going to take you time to get that physique. But you don't care because what you love the most is training itself. That is when it becomes powerful. Because then you will become the most consistent ever. And that consistency is what is going to get you that physique in the first place, God willing. That is the best analogy that I can think of to explain this concept. However, this experience that happened for me, it only happened because I stopped wanting it so fast. I accepted the fact that it's going to take me 3 years, 5 years, right, to achieve the physique I want. I accepted that fact. I owe the game 3 years. I owe the game 5 years. I owe the game 10 years. I accepted that fact. And hence I started playing the long game. I started to focus on the things I needed to do every single day to achieve the goals I have set for myself. And in doing so, I actually fell in love with doing those things every single day. And living like that in the first place is what is going to get me the outcome that I want to achieve, God willing. That, my friend, is the power of playing the long game. I hope you found this valuable. I hope this benefited you. And I'll see you in the next video, God willing. Peace. What a banger.